talk about how this fight is maybe particularly special because of the bond that you compare or that you share, and you guys fought together, and what one will mean to the other at a professional UFC level.
From my standpoint, we pro debuted together in way back when, so that was kind of dope to do that. Had a locker room, go out there and both handle business. From a professional level, it's been so many fights that Ben has helped me to prepare for, and this is my only time I've ever been able to help him for a fight. So I was kind of honored and kind of excited that I didn't play like the hugest role, but I can show him the little small things that I saw in the fight. And I always like to give a fighter their own ability to look at a fighter, because things that may have been alarming to me may not be alarming to him. So I just showed him some things that we saw, tendencies over and over again that he can probably exploit. And just to be able to do that is kind of dope. But to be honest, he's so different than I am. He's going to fight and going to watch me fight. I'm probably not going to watch him fight because I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to get my emotion all the way. So I'm probably going to have to go back and watch his when I record the pay-per-view. But he'll be out there probably watching fights, laughing and joking. I'll probably be tucked off in the corner praying, reading, focusing, and kind of zoned in. So I think we've been a pretty good yin and yang since we've been in college.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that, we don't get too tied up emotionally in each other's fights, right? That causes bad performance. But I like that. It kind of like feels like getting back at the rhythm. I mean, for 2 years straight, it was he wrestled 165, I wrestled 174 every single match. He was up, then I was up. He was up, then I was up, And so just our past preparation for this has been really nice to get to train together and do that. And then obviously this final week, spending a lot of time together, training together, it's going to be great.
It's almost like a wrestling meet because Robbie and Usman are training together.
Are they really?
In Florida, yeah, at a Hard Knock. So you guys are actually
too bad for them.
I thought Robbie went somewhere else now. Are you sure?
Robbie's
I think he
with
did.
Henry Hooft and,
I think he switched over.
Yeah, I think he switched.
I spoke to him a few days ago.
Okay, well, I'm wrong. You're right.
But
happens.
It's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah, that's
How
good.
that
That's
works
cool. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're training, like, actually with each other, right? Or if they're just training in the same facility. Maybe you could correct me on that one. I don't know.
A little bit together.
They are. Okay, cool. Because we've been training together, and I think it's a perfect fit because obviously Usman's only hope is to take Tyron down, and so I can put that forward pressure on him. And Robbie's only chance is to hit me, and so Tyron, when he's being Robbie and trying to stop my takedowns to hit me, and when I'm being Usman, you know what I'm saying? Like, plays really well off each other. It makes perfect sense.
But the funny thing is, we're better versions of what they're trying to prepare for. Because obviously, I've shown in the fight against Robbie, I didn't get hit one time. So from prepping for him and learning his style, I can mimic that better than Usman is going to be able to try to mimic the wrestling. Because when it comes down to the wrestling, there's no way that you're going to compare Ben level of wrestling to Usman. So I get to train with that. And as far as the striking standpoint, I think I'm more of a dynamic striker than Robbie. Robbie, for a while, Robbie may have been the hardest hitting. Him and Johnny and some other guys may have been, going back and forth on who hit the hardest. But I think it's shown that when you have good technique, good timing, and you see your shots before you get there, and then you know how to throw your whole life into the punch, I think I've secured that spot of the hardest hitting welterweight. So if he can avoid and make me miss and stop punches, I think he's going to be able to do that against Robbie.
Is that a mark on your eye from Tyron?
No, it's not. I was wrestling with somebody. It's got scratched a little bit.
Tyron, did you ever think that you'd be in the spot with Ben on the same card again in the UFC now?
Not really, to be honest, because it got to a point where, I didn't ask Ben, Ben does his deal, but I just felt like Ben wanted to compete against the best guys. He had opportunity to compete, be treated fairly, be paid well, and keep dominating. So I didn't know if he had to be in the UFC to actually facilitate those wants and needs. And when this thing happened, I think it hit everybody by surprise because who the hell would have thought a trade would have ever happened? I keep forgetting until they brought up the second one that it was through a trade. So, but I think it's dope. I think it's dope for the sport, and I'm excited for him to go out there and do what we already know what he can do. It's not like we're gonna be surprised. It's not like this is our first time hearing him. He's been talking crap like this since college, and I just quit trying to calm him down because I recognize it's an art behind it, and it's never taken away from his performance. So.
How about you, Ben? Are you surprised that your UFC debuts on the same card where Tyron's defending his title?
I mean, like he said earlier, I've helped him get ready for so many fights, and so this it almost feels kind of similar to that, right? And obviously, I'm preparing myself also, but so it feels really similar to those other times where I've helped him, and we're leading to that path where he's going to fight for the title again, and that's kind of what it feels like, and the fact that I'm fighting is a bonus also, and I guess Tyron kind of alluded to it earlier, like I don't get all worked up about competing or fighting. Like it's like I'm gonna be relaxed, I'll be happy, and then
I do.
he gets and then I'll go out there and fight, and that's kind of all it is for me. So to me, this kind of feels like when I was helping him for a Damian Maia or one of those other fights is what it feels like.
No, I was just saying, when you went out to Hawaii and you were working with Blessed, so what was that about? What led to that? Because I don't know if a lot of people know, that you guys were even tight with each other or what.
Yeah, me and Bless have been cool for a long time. It's just a mutual respect, and I just like the way that he's similar to Bennett if you really get to know him. He's really free spirited. He thinks for himself, and he just want to train hard and fight and win. I take fighting more serious because when I fight, there's so many things that are compounding off the fight. Like I think about all the people I got on payroll. I think about all the entertainment things that come because you're the champion. Let's be real. Like, will Wiz Khalifa want to be featured on a song with me if I'm not the champion? It's kind of dope to do a song with the champ. You know what I mean? So when I'm thinking about everything that being a champion, how large my platform is, that's why everything is riding on that. These guys are like, okay, I'm gonna fight this dude and beat him. You know what I mean? And Max thinks the same way. So I went out to Hawaii to do Hawaii 5-0. But you know me, I'm not just going to be out there doing Hawaii 5-0. So I did Hawaii 5-0. I recorded like 4 or 5 new tracks in the studio out there. I hit Max up. I said, hey, I need to get in the studio. He said, all right, I got my guy. Hit up his guy, went to the studio. I finished my album out there, the one that I'm dropping March 4th, by the way, Chaos Theory. 2 days after I beat that ass, we dropped in the city. You got the invite. So I'm dropping the album 2 days later, so I needed to mix and master, and I wanted to have the album finished before I went into training camp, because I don't like to, when I'm in fight camp, I'm in fight camp. And that's what a lot of people don't know. They see everything I'm doing, but when I film something, I didn't just film it that day it's coming out. It's been filmed maybe a year before, or maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is. But when I go in training camp, it's training camp. And I recorded five songs in Hawaii. I trained with Max Holloway. We shot a dope piece. We got an original content piece. I can't tell the name of it yet because we haven't got a license. But we shot an original content piece with Max that gives you a better in-depth of what Max is and why he fight the way he is and what components makes him the champion he is. Nothing that the UFC has been able to get out of him. No embedded, no countdown. We got deeper into Max, and it's going to make a couple people drop a tear or two because the dude is a beast and he's overcome a lot of stuff. And I just have so much respect for him. But training with Max is like what I would envision training with a super in-shape, conditioned, technical Diaz brother. He never stops punching. He never stops moving. And one thing that he said to me that stuck out the most, I said, damn, you just fought, man. If you don't feel like coming to the gym, I know people that say, no, I got to get to the gym, I got to help my brothers get ready, man. They got a fight coming up, they help me. How many champions you see getting back in the gym, helping out their training? I think Yancy and Madera said a fight coming up, but he was back in the gym because he said, these guys helped me become a champion, so it's my duty to get back. And after that, I really kind of fuck with him on a way different level just because, he just has that mentality.
So you brought something up there. You said all the trappings, all the other things that go along because you have this belt.
Yeah.
And that's the exact reason people criticize you and say you fight safe because you're just trying to protect this belt because you have so much other things leveraged on it.
No, I'm not. I don't fight safe. I mean, tell me a fight where you haven't seen me trying to take somebody out.
I didn't say I said.
I'm just saying. Well, people say you fight safe because I don't fight stupid. What we've seen as a good fight is two guys beating each other up, going back and forth, blood spewing from both guys. One guy looked like he knocked out. He found a way to come back. That person got out, and at the end, they hugging each other in a bloodbath, and they was just talking shit 2 weeks earlier. That's what we think is a good fight. A good fight to me is me dominating your ass, me beating you, me hitting you, me not getting hit, me sniping you, me finishing you in dominant fashion and walking away like it's another summer day. That's a good fight. But, I've come to grips that what I've done in the octagon may be more appreciated when I'm done than it is now. And I'm okay with that because I never really got into the game to be glorified and for people to worship me and kiss my Converse. But when you think about what I've done, the people that I've competed, Young Kim, one of the best judo guys in the game, snipe. You know, Damian Maya, Andre Gaval, two of the best grapplers that have ever been imported into the game, taken out. Wonder Boy, one of the craziest strikers that, you know, maybe the most difficult training camp I've had to try to figure that out. Fought him and had to beat him again in a rematch. You don't always get a chance to do that. And you think about the freestyle fighters like, you know, freestyle like Koscheck and like Jay Heron, who really only have lost to like guys like him and fucking guys like GSP. So when you look at my resume, it's not a coincidence that I can outstrike Paul Daly or Darren Till or Tarek Safadine or beat the up-and-coming fighter like Jordan Meehan or Kevin Gastelum. I look at them and I put them all in category. Oh, here go another young gun. Here go another striker. Here go another kickboxer. Here go another grappler. And we've written a book already. And we go back in there. We tune up stuff. We do things better. When I say I think about this dope-ass team I got. I got Ben on the wrestling department. I got Eric Brown on the boxing. I got Duke Rufus. I got Dean Thomas. I don't know one fighter who has a better, you know, team than I have as far as like just masterminds that do this. Sometimes you got a striking coach that know everything, and he don't want you to do jiu-jitsu. We got a jiu-jitsu guy that you can knock this motherfucker out, but they trying to make you take him down and go for a Gugu Pilato. But when you got coaches that, you got, you know, really, I mean, how many times have you seen guys lose fights?
Call it a goo-goo
Or
Pilato.
boo-boo Pilato, whatever you want to call it.
Doo-doo Pilato.
Or whatever you want to call it. But it's not often you get guys that are so good at what they do, the ego's evaporated, and they work cohesively together to make a master plan. And that's what we've really done is, you know, once people really sit back and look at what I've done in my career and see who I keep around me, I got a small circle, but everybody in their own lane is, you know, the best. You know?
Tyron, you had some nice words to say about George St. Pierre and Ben
Yeah.
Askren. You've obviously mentioned, you know, as a competitor wanting to take on him. What was your reaction to him retiring last Thursday?
I didn't know he wasn't retired. I mean, I thought he was retired. I mean, he hasn't fought since what? When did he fight Bisping?
November 2017.
2017. So we're in 2019. So I figure if you haven't been injured or hurt, you kind of out of fighting. I think George has done what he needed to do in the sport. He didn't have to prove it. Of course, I want him to fight me because that's for me. That's for my legacy. For his legacy, he didn't need to fight Tyron Woodley. He already fought the Johnny Hendricks, the Koschecks, the Hardys, the Matt Hugheses, the John Fitches. He already did that. And to come back in a division, which she might argue with me, the toughest division in the world, to come back and fight us now when we have the best nutrition, the best science, the best strength and conditioning, everybody's trained with the best coaches. It's not the same era. He doesn't have to come back and prove that. He wants to come back and tap in on that pay-per-view model he helped build. And I can't knock him for that. You know, coming back and fighting Bisping was smart. You know, Bisping wasn't known for having powerful hands, wasn't known for being a wrestler or a grappler, so what better fight? Khabib is not very well known for being a crazy, dynamic striker. He's a guy that's going to wrestle you, take you down. That probably doesn't put fear into George St. Pierre. But to get knocked around and get concussed and get hit and maybe not be able to get that shot when you're going to go for it, maybe I'm not the fight he wanted. Maybe it doesn't draw the pay-per-view that a Khabib coming off of a Conor McGregor fight would. So I don't knock him for that at all. He had a great run. Very few fighters. I think he may be the only UFC fighter I've seen walk away twice with a belt each time. And you know, hats off to him. He had a great career. He set the foundation for us, and now he can go do something different.
How about you, man, about GSP? Were you surprised to see that he retired?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, he was kind of retired. And it's like, I don't feel like he set a hard line in the sand. I felt like he left the door open. If something interests him in the future, he's going to come back. So that's kind of
For big fight, big
where,
winning
yeah,
fight come
that's
up.
kind of where he was before he started. And I always tell him, hey, GSP, like, Tyron hits pretty hard, but I don't hit that hard. So if you want to fight me instead of him, that's perfectly
He's
fine.
worried about that, though. He said that. He's worried
He
about
said it, yeah.
concussions, you know, having dementia. And, you know, he talked to
So
me
that when he
about it.
left the first time.
Yeah.
He talked to me about, you know, Tyron, you know, I made a lot of money in this sport. And he said, you know, you'll see, man, when you get that belt and you become champion, things become different. And, you know, kind of talked to me about, you know, how being a champion is and the responsibility and, you know, sometimes the treatment. And it's just that he said people didn't like it, but I mastered hitting and not getting hit. He said, I want to be able to have kids down the road and, you know, not be shaking around and not be able to, you know, have my wits about me. So he kind of told me about that. Now, granted, I'm still trying to knock you out when I'm out there, but I'm a different fighter than him as well.
Tyron, you've had a few exchanges with Usman, and now he's saying that you're not focusing on this fight, you're playing to the camera, too many other things going around. What's your reaction when you
I love it because he's gonna get his ass whooped on Saturday thinking that. They said that the last fight, right? They said They told me I was old last time. Yeah, I was old last fight. The fight before that, it wasn't a good performance, even though I tore my labrum, and they didn't use the statistics on how many takedowns I stopped and how he's taken down all his last 12 opponents and submitted many guys that, like Matt Brown and freaking Koscheck and all these guys that thought, hey, let me mix it up with Damian Maia on the mat. He says a lot of stuff, and sometimes when people talk too much, they're trying to reassure themselves. Hey, you haven't heard me talk about Usman. I just wanted Usman to tell me how he was going to beat me. Because as I laid out before, Dong Young Kim was a judo master that can also strike. You know what I mean? You look at guys like Thompson. Thompson was knocking everyone. Robert Whitaker fell victim to a lot of guys did. And he doesn't bring that specialty in any category. Yes, he was a Division II NCAA champ. I'm not taking that away from you, but please do not act like that is a Division I NCAA champ. It's a different concept, it's a different mentality, and it's a different thing. So when I've competed against guys like Koscheck, who was a two-time NCAA Division I champion, that scored 0 takedowns, that had better striking, that I just wanted him to really tell me how he was going to win the fight. He sounds so confident, and I know y'all want me to do the LL Cool J impersonation, but he sounds so cool, and when people are doing that, they're really nervous. Like, I looked at his feed, and 18 days, 17 days, like, I'm working. Like, I'm planning my release party. I'm training. I'm, getting my game plan down. I don't have to talk a lot because I've done it already. I've done it, and I'm not going to stop doing it. And he just has not shown me that he provides the recipe or the cure to beating me that everybody else supposedly had.
So Ben, other times people have come into the UFC and they fared well. Some haven't fared so well, but I do wonder if you consider like who's got more pressure on them, if you even factor in pressure, but Robbie because he's got to beat this guy that just got here, or you who has to come in who has such long build-up for years and years and years, people clamoring to get you here, and now you're here, you better deliver.
I don't feel the pressure / I like the pressure. Like, this is what I came for. This is what I enjoy. For him, I think Robbie's a made man. He's always going to be a UFC champion. You can't steal that from him. And now if the hard part for me is if I beat him up, they'll say he's old and washed up, and that's kind of the way they do it. And so, I don't have to beat him. I have to continue, right? Or else people say, oh, he's just old and washed up. When Robbie's a really good fighter, whether he's 28 or whether he's 38, right? And he had that down point in, I don't know, his early 30s. He had a much better mid-30s than he did early 30s. So, no, I don't really buy into the pressure thing. I enjoy it. I'm here to compete. That's what I wanted to do, and that's why I'm here.
I don't know if you're an everything happens for a reason person, but what's your take on why now? How come it didn't happen sooner? Or is there any frustration that it didn't happen sooner? How much did you care that it didn't happen sooner?
No, you can't. Everything happens for a reason. Yeah, that's. I don't think you can. You can. My focus in life is I can only control what I can control, right? You have to say I can control these things, and I'm going to. These things I can't control, right? And there was a guy who didn't like me, and I could control that, and that was the reason I didn't fight the better guys. And then later in my career, another 5 years later, the opportunity presented itself. I was retired. I was happy. I was doing exactly what I wanted to do in life. And I said, this opportunity is too good to pass up. I'm going to take it. And that, like I said, I'm here to compete. That's it.
So you're not old and washed up?
I'm getting there. I'm not as old as Tyron is.
Hey.
No, I got a few good years left in me.
A lot of massages, a lot of chiropractic work, a lot of stretching.
No Robert Kraft massages.
None of that. You know what I hate about our sport? I really hate this about our sport. Our sport will reward a type of style of fighting, whether you win or lose. If you go out there and you lay on your sword, and you go out there and you punch and you bleed and you brawl and you go back and forth, you really can't lose in that situation. You can get your ass whooped, you can get knocked out, but if you fought to a point where everybody's like, oh my God, he's so tough, not only with the fighters and the fans, but with the promotion, you kind of almost form yourself in a mold where they're gonna keep
He's an
using.
entertaining guy.
Yeah,
Keep him on
we
the
saw
road.
with Jardine forever. We saw like so many fighters that had subpar 500 records that stayed around, and then you have a guy that may lose one fight and he's out. And I just think that when you look at a sport, think about basketball. It don't matter if you wear a pimped out custom suit, talk the most shit possible. If you can shoot a three, you can shoot a three. How many times you see Steph Curry talking crap? You get paid the big bucks based on how you deliver on the court. We're the only sport where if you do all these, like, think about Conor, for instance. Conor, in his last few fights, he's beaten Eddie Alvarez, right? Lost to Khabib. It wasn't that great of a fight. I don't care what anybody say. I was sitting up at the desk with you, and I was like,
He got beat down.
I'm like,
Yeah.
and they both look kind of like bad. They both look like old men at the nursing home fighting each other. But then we glorifying this fight. It wasn't like this great strategic fight that looked like one person was teeters. And then you look at his fight against Nate Diaz. But this is a person that I don't do the stats, but he's lost a few times and won a few times. But look at the mystique that's around him. So it's telling you it's not so much about winning. It's about the showmanship. It's about what you bring to the table. It's about making people give a fuck. And, we got to find a way to do both. We got to find a way, both fuck. We got to find a way to make you invest it, make you want to see me lose, make you
Well, I
want
was
to see
just
me
gonna say,
win.
sometimes people, you don't mind it that they're watching you to see you get your ass.
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because they can't get in there and help them. I've never seen a boo travel from outside octagon to go in there, provide strength to my opponent, and now he all
One
of a sudden,
time I got stood up from Mount because too many people were booing me.
from Mount.
From Mount.
Really?
I didn't know how to hit him.
So
One time.
One time the boos
time.
came in and jumped into the referee.
That
But
happened.
it didn't give. He didn't hear the boom. Like, you know what? Fuck, they booed me. Let me now learn how to get out of this mount position. Yeah. So I don't care. I'm surprised I'm the favorite in this fight because I can't remember the last fight I was a
I
favorite.
don't think it has happened. We actually said that on UFC Now. I
Yeah.
don't think you've been.
I don't think I've been a
in any of your
favorite.
title fights or anything.
No, before then.
Yeah.
I think I haven't been a favorite since whatever fight I fought before Gaslam. I think from Gaslam until recently I've been an underdog.
Speaking of what you said about making people care,
Yeah.
Ben, when you came into the UFC,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of talk trash to almost everyone. Everyone.
They talk shit to you.
That was like the last 6 years.
Well, warranted probably.
Yeah.
Except for Tyron and Robbie Lawler, everyone else was kind of in
I didn't talk any shit to Marty either.
That's true. You didn't talk any shit to Marty.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Exactly.
Because I like him.
The fact that you got matched up with Lawler.
Bring that same energy.
He's almost like impervious to trash talk. It's like
Well,
it's
it's
like press
yeah.
conferences.
But
I didn't see him
Marty
do
was on
that.
the card because he didn't have to talk
Yeah.
shit to
That's
to
right.
Robbie. Robbie was laughing for it.
Yeah.
He was actually laughing. I didn't even plan this, but I kind of felt bad for Usman because
No, you didn't.
Okay, maybe I did. But we were kind of tag teaming him on accident. It wasn't even planned out. And when we left out the back, I promise you, he was stumping around like, "You're not invited to my birthday party anymore." Like he was literally like mad. He was like mad. I was like, I don't know. He was like,
He's mad at life. He got his ass whooped in that press conference.
He was
He
like,
got
he was like,
beat down.
he was like, I'm like, dude, like you started it.
Yeah.
Be cool.
What did he say to you before the press conference?
Listen, he looked like an idiot. That was his camera guy, and they put that video out, and I thought he looked like an idiot. And listen, most people like you reading MMA for him, it would be like 80% negative me. And now it's changed a little bit in the last couple months.
So you should
We're-
thank Marty.
Go 50. No, we're going 50-50. The Marty thread, when he put that video up, someone posted it was like 99-1.
Wow.
Everyone's like, Marty looks like an idiot. Why is he posting this? It was his guy that posted that video, and he looked like a moron. The thing to me is, I'm starting to think he's not very smart because on the one hand he says, I'm not mad that he's calling me Marty. But I've literally done nothing else. I've said he's a good fighter. I said he's a good fighder. I said nothing else, and he's all pissed off. So what's he pissed
My
off?
OCD want to push down that red Velcro so
Oh,
bad.
There you go.
That's been driving me the whole time.
But what's he mad about? If he says, I don't care that you call me Marty, because listen, that was his name for many years. And he's saying, I don't care. Well, what's he mad about then? What
know
else?
it. Can
Name
I-
one
can I
other thing
chime
I
in?
said to him.
Because Ben's not savvy sometimes with the urban language. Like, Like Usman came up to him and was like, "I'm gonna need you to keep that same energy." And he's like,
I didn't know what it meant.
He said he was talking about all this energy and stuff. I said, hold on.
I just wanted to fight him.
That means that if you was talking shit on the internet, when you see me in person, keep that same energy. He said, oh, well, I just want to fight him in a cage. So when you call a brother that's trying to be so cool, dancing in the car and all this stuff, and you bring up the fact he was called Marty, you low-key...
It's kind of a good name.
But you kind of low-key took his hood credit away.
Think so? But he said, I don't care. Then why did he say, I don't care?
Because he does care.
Just say you care then.
He was trying to evaporate that Marty thing, and you brought it back out. Now he got to live with this Marty thing.
It's even his nickname on SureDog. You know, SureDog's a fairly official website. You go there, Kamaru Usman, it'll say Marty.
Wow. Well, you impacted changing his name.
Is this the dynamic between you guys? You got to fill each other in on like,
Well, I
like
mean,
if it's like a
Tyron,
urban thing, you guys all bet like,
Urban.
all right.
I'm his Urban Dictionary.
well, you know what though? The thing that I think,
Thing, you gotta tell Tyron.
I think I'm bringing Tyron out here a little bit because the one thing I tell people, I tell Tyron this and his friends, like Tyron is like hilarious, but he never comes out like that in the media. Like he could have a whole team of people rolling for, you know, a college team, laughing for 30 minutes, telling some dumbass story about God knows what. He's really funny, but it doesn't come out. So now it's coming. It's perfect. It's coming out.
I think sometimes
funny.
I'm just thinking about fighting people because Ben is more like the person that's gonna be laughing and joking and like, you know, trying random moves. Like he'll be in the locker room like, I bet you I can tap you out with a cradle, like about the fight. Like you did that to Bader, right?
I did it. Yeah. I
So
did.
he's out
He
there
tapped
like,
out.
so they like bet that he couldn't tap him out, so he put him in the cradle and choked him out, and he walked out there and defended his world title.
This is before
Like,
the day of the fight.
no, this
It was
is the
like
day of the
an hour
fight.
before the fight.
Yeah, this is like right before he walk out to go fight. Like they're like telling him, "Come on, let's go." Like, hold on, let me choke him out real quick. All right, then go out there. I'm the opposite. Like this is spiritual to me. I'm focusing. Tell this guy to quit talking, breathe in. They want me to shadow box. I'm like, no, you should have got that shit 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I got it like perfect. My underwear is set out. My hands are wrapped perfectly. So I'm the opposite. So when I think about fighting, I don't think about bringing that side of me out because I want to be humble. I want to be respectful. Then I want to beat the person, and then like, you know what, I was supposed to beat them. But now it's just to the point where Marty kind of made me because he was just like, yeah, you know, you've been a good. And I listened for as long as I could. And finally, I'm like, dude, stop. Like nobody believes this. You don't believe it. And it just kind of went back and forth.
But I mean, like you guys all missed it earlier. But Tyron does this thing, and it's all the time, and you have to be on your toes, right? And he'll come up and say something stupid. Hey, you seen Bofa? And then you say,
She's seen it.
and you say,
I'm the
what do
king
you
of these
what?
nuts.
What? And he goes, both of these nuts, and you're like, oh,
I have a
damn
million
it!
ways
Why
to
did I
get
fall
you
for
with
that?
these. I know
Why did I
it's
fall
old
for
and
that?
childish, and that's probably why my podcast is named These Nuts. But
He got a whole list of them. I mean, you got to be on your toes.
Because low key, I might have to hit y'all with a few.
Yes. Yeah.
Then how's your feud with the UFC Twitter account going?
I think I won. I think they gave up.
That little carve out with the fro.
Yeah, they better, but they better not. They better take the L off my record because they put an L on my record because they said
You lost it because you lost to them on the
that's
field?
what they alleged.
That's funny.
Alleged, yes. No, it's good.
You don't agree with the judge's decision in that?
No, damn no, no way. Give me a break.
Tyron, will you be walking out to a new single on
Yeah,
Saturday?
I'm glad you asked me that. All right, so I have a album. It's called Chaos Theory. So it's a collab album. Myself, my artist T-Double, together we make the Art Changers. So we got an album. It's ridiculous. We just bumping in the car on the way here. But I heard a song. He made a song for me that was supposed to be a walkout song. But when I heard it like Creed 3. I heard of 2K. I heard of Madden. I heard of all these different deals. So right now we pitched it for soundtracks. We pitched it for video gaming. And we added it to the album late. So we just added it last minute, tuck in. So we added it as a bonus track to the album. And that song will be dropped on Thursday. So I'm going to do a pre-order to the album. Obviously, I Beat Your Ass is already released, so that's a song that's on there. It'll be the full playlist where you can see, you can pre-order it. But we're going to drop the song called Fight. So it's when you hear it, if you're passionate about anything, this is going to make your hair on the back of your neck stand up. It don't have to be about fighting. If it doesn't stand up on the back of your neck, you have Kool-Aid in your veins. I promise you. So we're going to drop this on this Thursday. It's called Fight. And it's just crazy. So I'm gonna come out because I'm superstitious. I'm gonna come out to my original walkout song that I came out to every single fight. The one time I listened to Dana and came out to start it from the bottom because we're here, I got that ass beat and I went back to the bottom. So I come out to the same song, so I'm gonna splice it. So I'm gonna come out to a portion of this and a portion of my original walkout song. Yeah. So you guys will hear that.
How did Team MMA do on Family Feud?
I cannot say because I was told not to give out the results, but just let you know Chuck Liddell has been watching Family Feud since he was a kid, and he let us know that 25 times in the backstage. So any time where it was a team captain or somebody that goes to the forefront, he said, "I like to do it if you don't mind." So he was like, I'd never seen Chuck like that. I've been around him quite a bit, but Chuck was not fucking around when it came to Family Feud.
So, T-Wood, a while back, didn't you get a 25 times clean tested
Yeah.
T-shirt? So
Probably 55
That's
now.
what I'm asking. What's the testing
Yeah.
process been like?
You know, to be honest, I think they got tired of testing me and coming back with cold
Because they
urine.
really want to catch you.
Well, I don't think they want to catch me. I think when you think about what's going on is that you have a lot of people that are always testing clean.
Right.
It was me, it was DJ, it was certain people that it's almost like you might as well quit testing us. But there was a lot of people that was popping up negative. So the sport didn't look so rampant in PEDs. You almost got to keep testing the people that you think are going to test negative. So I found out that this is not as random as we think. So I asked the guy, I was like, "Man, why are you coming like at this time? You know my number, just call me. I ain't running from you." He said, "Oh, well, they just told me to test you." I said, "Oh, I thought it was random." He said, "No, they always tell me when to test you." So I was like,
But
What? What's it say? It's random though. So it's not as random.
Right.
So it's not random. So, well, I think they recognize that. I've competed clean my entire career, and I have not been. It was one time I got tested like 8 times, and like literally, I was just getting my results back from the other test, and it was right back in, and they're testing me again, and it was just crazy. This time I traveled so much. One time I actually forgot to change my stuff, so they were at my place to try to test me, and I was in Los Angeles, so I had to do this long, send them like itineraries and schedule changes. So I got that figured out, but they tested me Super Bowl weekend. The lady came to me, bless her soul, because I'd said a few unchoice words to her, and with respect. She came to test me at 12 a.m. on Super Bowl weekend, knowing the reason I was in Atlanta was probably for Super Bowl, and I had some appearances that I was supposed to be at. I had an event with Devontae Freeman and Meek Mills I was supposed to be at, event with Ludacris and event with Snoop Dogg, and I was in the hotel waiting on her to come in 45 minutes of traffic to test me. So she tested me around 1 a.m., and I missed those events. So I asked her, I said, "Why can't you test me in the morning? I'm going to be here." "Oh, let me call and ask them if I can test you in the morning." He said, "No, I got to text you now." I said, "Well, how far are you?" "I'm like 45 minutes. I said, "Can I ask you another question? Why in the hell didn't you test me earlier today?"
Right.
"Oh, I had an event I had to go to."
Oh.
I said, "I have an event I have to go to that I'm
Right.
missing money because I'm supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Well, I can meet you there." I said, "No, you can't get in. You can't be on the list." So I had to wait there. She tested me at 1 a.m. and I was not happy.
Are there
Damn.
not limitations where they can't interrupt your sleep? Is there?
I don't know if they're. I took her name down, but then I felt that would be so petty. And then she was like trying to have a cat. I said, "Ma'am, I want to be real respectful, but I'm not in a good mood right now, and I don't want to talk about like nothing outside of doing this urine test, give you my supplements, and getting to my deal." So
How much money did you lose on that?
about 10 grand. Yeah. So USADA, I'm not happy right now.
Yeah, you got a T-shirt there.
I got a T-shirt. I did get a
All I
T-shirt.
got is a lousy T-shirt.
Got a T-shirt.
Ben, you tweeted something a few days ago. I think
Uh-oh.
it was about. You tweet a lot of things. But it was about. I think Quinton and Poirier, and I think you posted
Yeah.
something saying that promoters.
I did a Periscope even.
You did a Periscope.
Yeah.
You was
You didn't
super
watch it?
I'm
Periscope?
sorry.
I just started doing it again.
I thought they just do IG Live.
Well, no, it's Twitter. It's Twitter bought Periscope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when you go on Twitter and you press live, it's
So
Periscope.
this is one of the things why I bring you up to date and say,
Nobody called
from
me.
now on, just go ahead and just go live on
You
Instagram.
could call it Twitter Live. What do you call it?
Well, you need
It's
two
called
phones.
Periscope.
Go 2 phones and go live twice.
No, this is called Periscope. Okay.
Did any of
Anyway,
you guys
right
go
here.
live on Periscope?
Anyway, you said the promoter is not your friend. What did you mean by that?
That's self-explanatory, right? See, look at it. This is Periscope that I'm on. This is a live feature.
I
We're
used to
meeting
do
at
that.
lunch.
I remember back
Yeah,
in the
it's
day.
fun. You know, I love it
I also
because you
used
can
to
just
do
pop
Black
on.
Planet and Facebook and MySpace.
MySpace, shut up. We'll put it up here. So,
What's up, Funk?
I can't see my face. Anyways, we'll scoot this microphone back a little bit. That's yours, Karen. Don't get too upset.
All right.
Okay. So, anyways, it's pretty obvious that the promoter's not your friend. Tyron knows that. I know that because we're both smart.
Why you
Some of
bringing
these
me into this, man?
He's not your friend. He's not your
I've
friend.
been out the doghouse
He's
for
not.
7 days and counting. Don't throw me back.
Well, listen. Then somebody said, "Well, you're wrong. Poirier got the shot." Because I also just where Poirier had no leverage. He didn't, right?
He got what shot?
Well, he got the He got the interim shot.
Time
Because
out.
hold on.
Don't-
Let me break this down for you. Just let me break this down for you.
Don't
it's
do that,
because
man.
it's because he freaking because Tony Ferguson turned it down, and so my point was, Dustin, you have no leverage, right? You can't ask for more money, and even if somehow they did write you more money, everyone's gonna see that as a loss for you because no one's gonna see you getting more money, and then McGregor was in front of him if he wants to be. Ferguson's definitely in front of him, which Ferguson turned it down. Which that one, why did he turn that down? I don't even
'Cause
know. He didn't say nothing.
He got stripped of an interim belt.
But he didn't explain
This is
it.
the funny thing to me.
Did he?
The interim belt is the biggest joke on earth.
They're doing
Unless
two. They're doing two a month.
It's a double.
236.
Oh, a stat called a double interim belt. I'm not trying to hate because
Oh,
I ain't
my
trying to get my
goodness.
ass back in the doghouse.
Just stop. You're gonna be in the doghouse.
I know. I would definitely pay to go and watch and see that because they both are good fights. But when you think about it, you got a current champion, which out of all champions, Max Holloway may be our favorite champion. If you ask all the champions who their favorite champion is, we might all say Max Holloway. He don't have to go up and fight for an interim belt unless he's fighting for an actual
Doesn't make
lightweight
sense.
belt. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to you, to him, or whatever they worked out. Maybe it makes sense. Maybe it makes sense. So for Dustin to get more money, Dustin would need to make more money for the organization. He would need to draw more. And I think his fight style is great. People love it. And he's really, went on a streak where he had some great fights. But at the end of the day, he's almost like Robbie, where he's not going to do that much talking. Now, he's kind of did a little bit here and there, but that's the algorithm for making more money if you're going to do that. So my thing is, when you're looking at Gastelum, Adesanya interim belt, in that situation, I think is warranted because how long has Robert been out?
He hasn't
Well-
defended
That's
the title
forever.
at all,
Yeah.
Because the fight against Romero wasn't the title because Romero missed weight. So we
But
actually
how
had-
long has it been since the Romero fight?
He's had one fight in
it was
almost 2 years,
June 2018. So it'll be
And-
over a year by the time it gets
and the fight before that was June 2017.
Damn.
July 2017.
Yeah, July
So, I
2017.
mean,
yeah.
I'm not
But
the
why did
person.
Ferguson turn it down? What's he doing?
I mean, a lot of times you do stuff, I'm like, what are you doing?
He's supposed. You see all those crazy tweets he does?
The dances,
He puts all the
moves.
weird capitalizations in there and strange words. I don't know
I mean,
about that guy.
he's a good fighter, and I think whatever it takes somebody to get to that level, let him do it. If he want to do something that I consider weird, which I do, I'll let him do it because he can fight. But I think that unless it's a situation, like in my situation, there was no need for an interim belt. I hadn't even been out 8 months, and I would have fought the person maybe the next month. So I think when you do an interim, just to do an interim, it kind of takes away the juice of having a real belt. Like if it was me and I fought for an interim belt, I would not be walking around proudly like I'm the champion. I'd be like, okay, that was cool. It's a milestone, but now I'm going after that real belt. I want to be the undisputed champion. And when you just got guys asking to fight for interim straps, or put up an interim belt I'll fight for, it's like saying, let me fight for second place.
That's
It's
weird.
It's just kind of weird to me.
So Ferguson makes sense not taking the fight.
I mean, I don't know his reasons behind it. I mean,
But I
maybe,
don't- why did
maybe
they
he
have
wants
to-
to fight Khabib, and that's his only fight he want to fight. Maybe
Yeah.
he wants to fight, what do you call them, McNuggets, or you know what I mean. But those fights aren't on the table right now for him.
But why
So-
did they force the title fight at 155? I mean, I think that's kind of what Tyron's saying too. It's silly. It's like, well, why don't you
Especially
let
when
Max
it's a current champion?
or
that's a
let Max
beast
defend
at
his 45 belt, or I mean, there's 5 other things to do that make a lot more sense than that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe everybody's saying no. I don't know.
That's
want to follow up with you, Ben.
All right, I'm gonna hang up on Periscope. So you want to say bye to him?
Bye.
Okay.
This is Periscope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two more questions, gang. Two more questions.
The promoter's not your friend thing. Do you think that's what Colby Covington has?
Oh well, I
found
mean,
out?
Oh, you really
He's
gonna
now
bring him
talking
in?
about-
let's come on.
We can't go a whole interview without asking about Colby.
Colby's so
You
dumb.
really gonna bring
We almost
Kobe
did.
in?
Contractually. we
Kobe
can't.
could have fought
So,
me this time. He could have fought me the last time. So Kobe is not his own friend. He's walking around like he's the champion of some organization that he's not. He had a chance to fight me in September. He had a chance to fight me in January. He had a chance to fight me. Once we fight in
But
March.
Colby was too dumb. He thought the promoter was his friend. He thought, hey, this is my buddy. He's gonna do everything good for me. He's
Hey,
gonna
I
take
got-
care of me.
I got
And
dirt
then-
on Tyron. I'll tell you
boom.
all this and the boss and this and that and this. And now you look dumb.
He looks so dumb, and now he continues to look so dumb.
I'm still
I mean,
gonna beat him
simple.
up though.
You still want to?
I have to.
You think?
I know.
It can't
Oh, yeah.
just it can't just sort of go off into the ether like
I
it
think the
never-
world wants me to beat him up.
Yeah.
And I don't want somebody else to get a chance to do it. You know, I think if he fight Till, he's gonna lose. I think if he fight Usman, he's gonna lose. If he fight Ben, he's gonna lose. He's already eradicated and fought the guys that he can beat.
Well, he said he may never fight again anyways.
He's
I mean,
so
the
dumb.
world's-
What other skills did? No,
The
tell me
wor-
that. Stop.
The
stop.
world's gonna be in
No, stop.
uproar if he never fights again.
Tell me what skills that he has in his life that he could go make money doing something else.
I mean, I don't know. He can donate to a sperm bank every day, make $50 a day.
Who wants that? Someone.
Nobody.
Karen's gonna check down and go. Colby. Oh hell no!
You know what?
Don't give me that. Take it back.
I'm about to get a puppy
Take it
instead.
back. Give me a refund.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Stop. They fired him in 3 days. He lasts shorter than Scaramucci.
he's not the sharpest tool in the
Going
box.
up the rails.
Consider.
He's done. Colby's got no other skills. Give me a
So
break.
you wouldn't want to see me beat up Kobe.
You want to see
No matter
it?
what I think.
You're gonna try to be a journalist and biased now. You're gonna try to be unbiased
now?
now. You're gonna try to be down the middle now.
How is there not a buddy cop movie with you two?
Right.
I think there should be.
Yeah, what
You
is going
call
on
Chris
here?
Costello for saying to talk to
UFC
you two together.
Studios.
8 tracks and afros. That's what we,
But
I think
seriously,
we should do. Okay.
Colby's got no skills. He's got to fight. And if to Tyron's point, if he doesn't fight, I don't think one person in the whole world will shed a tear. They'll be like, thank God that era
Yeah.
was over. How did we ever even, and I think the UFC made it more than it was, because when you look at any of his social media, he doesn't have that many followers. There was never that
Really
much of
don't.
we want to see Colby. There just wasn't there. It's fake.
And it was also the only reason why we let it happen is because Conor was gone, Ronda was gone, John was gone, and it was kind of quiet. So he started barking at the perfect time. So we listened because we're like, fuck it. We know he's not really jumping off the rope and DDTing somebody, but we want to be entertained. Let's go ahead and just go for it. He was very persistent with it. I think he low-key had a man crush on me because I was 90% of his social media for a while.
Tyron, would you let Ben fight Kobe?
I would. I would want to whip his ass myself, but if it came down
Yeah,
to
I mean, I
it,
think that's the obvious next fight for Tyron. It's an easy one, too. Who doesn't like easy money?
I love it. I ain't had no easy fight in so long.
But there would be other people who would want to be challenging for the title that would also deserve it.
I mean, technically, ranking wise, he's kind of right there.
He's still there.
I mean, if a person was going to fight for a title, right? We got a UFC fight Saturday. The winner of that fight, obviously, is going to want to defend. Who would be the next person that somebody fight? You know what I mean? Kobe's, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, he's kind of next in line. You know what I mean? He's in front of the line. He's been in front of the line twice. He was in front of Till. He didn't want to take the fight. Till took it. He was in front of Usman. He didn't want to take the fight. Usman took it. Like, these are times that he was supposed to fight me. I've never in my life said I wouldn't fight Kobe. So he has decided for whatever reason not to fight twice. So if he doesn't fight after this, then I'll move on. Then it's like, I mean, I might go hunt down that 85 belt.
All right, guys. Let's see.
Let's eat. I'm so hungry.
That's awesome.